Thank you for listening to Chris's Texas Sports Podcast. I'm Chris, by the way. Today it's a look at the UTEP Miners football team for 2024. A look back at sports in Texas in 2010. A look at Texas sports legend Tommy Nobis. An old Texas sports team, the Dallas Desperados. But first, Andre Johnson became the first player for the Houston Texans to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. To celebrate the occasion, Texans owner Cal McNair flew most of the organization up to Canton to attend the ceremony. Former Texas Longhorns and Chicago Bears defensive end Steve Mongo McMichael also went into the Hall of Fame. Now, Mongo has ALS, so he couldn't go to the ceremony, so they took the bus and the jacket to him. And they showed him at his home in Chicago, surrounded by his family and some of his former Bears teammates. It was quite moving. I even choked up watching it. Coming up next, look at the 2024 UTEP Miners. The UTEP Miners, a football team, had a record of 3-9 last season. They were coached by Sonny Walden. They got a grade B for their recruiting class. In the section about UTEP in Texas football, they spotlighted linebacker Maurice Westmoreland. On their offense, DCTF gave them a grade C at quarterback, a grade B at running back, grade B for receivers and tight ends, and also a grade B for the line. On defense, they got a grade C for their defensive line, between C and D for their linebackers, and a B for their secondary. They play in Nebraska and Lincoln to start the season on August 31st. Then they play Southern Utah in El Paso for the first home game on September 7th. By the way, August 31st was my mother's birthday, and September 7th was my father's birthday. And then they go to Lynchburg, Virginia, where they'll play Liberty, and that will open Conference USA play on September 14th. They're picked by Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine 8th and 9th, and by Athlon Sports College Football in Conference USA. Texas Football Magazine said the best they can do is go 7-5, while the worst would be 1-11. Athlon had Westmoreland as a preseason All-CUSA. Now on Wednesday, it's a look at the UTSA Roadrunners. Okay, here's what happened in sports in Texas back in 2010. The Rangers won their first American League pennant when they beat the New York Yankees in 6 games. They then went on to lose to the San Francisco Giants in 5 games in the 2010 World Series. They played the Cotton Bowl game for the last time at Fair Park when Oregon State beat Oklahoma State. In men's college basketball, Baylor made it to the Final Four, and Texas Tech made it to the NIT. While in women's basketball, Baylor made it to the Final Four. In the NBA, the Mavericks won the NBA Southwest, but they lost to the Spurs in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. The Spurs went on to lose to the Suns in the Western Conference semifinals. And then they lost to the Lakers in the conference finals. The Rockets didn't make the playoffs that year. In college football, the Abilene Christian Wildcats made it to the D2 playoffs. Baylor lost to Illinois in the Texas Bowl. Lamar brought back football. They won 5-6. SMU lost to Army in the Armed Forces Bowl, their first bowl game before the 1987 death penalty. Or since before that. TCU beat Michigan in the 2011 Rose Bowl game. Texas A&M won the Big 12 South. Texas Tech beat Northwestern in the Ticket City Bowl. UTEP lost to BYU in the New Mexico Bowl. They played the 2010 MLS All-Star game at Reliance Stadium. The MLS All-Stars lost to the famous English football club Manchester United 5-2. Brad Davis and Brian Ching from the Dynamo and Heath Pierce from FC Dallas were on the MLS team. By the way, neither the Texans or the Cowboys made the playoffs that year. Of course, they played Super Bowl 45 at Cowboys Stadium in February of 2011. I went to the 2010 State Fair. I think I talked about it on my other podcast, Highways and Byways. I got to sit in and listen to an announcement about some of the things that were going to be going on during the Super Bowl weekend, like the NFL experience and other things. They also had a section of the NFL with NFL memorabilia at the fair. The Cowboys, who were hoping to be the first to play in the Super Bowl in their own stadium, fired Coach Wade Phillips halfway through the season, and he was replaced with assistant coach Jason Garrett, who did okay enough for Jerry promoted him to head coach. The Texans went in with expectations, but after a 2-0 start, lost to the Cowboys, who had started 0-2, and it kind of went down hill for them too. Now, coming up next, a look at former Texas linebacker Tommy Nobis. There is a look at a Texas sports legend. He's a former Texas Longhorns and Atlanta Falcons linebacker, Tommy Nobis. He lived from 1943 to 2017, and he was from San Antonio, where he went to Thomas Jefferson High School, where he was an All-State in football. He played for the Texas Longhorns from 1963 to 1965. In college, he was a two-way player. He not only played linebacker, but he also was a guard on the offensive line. And he was part of the Longhorns' 1963 national champion team. He was a two-time All-American and a three-time All-Southwest Conference, and he's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He was drafted by both the Houston Oilers and the Atlanta Falcons in the 1966 AFL and NFL drafts. That was before the merger, by the way. He chose to play for the Falcons. As a member of the Falcons, he made the Pro Bowl 5 times. He made his home in the Atlanta area. He's, besides the College Football Hall of Fame, he's also in the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, the Atlanta Sports Hall of Fame, and the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame. And next, we'll look back at a forgotten Texas football team, or an old Texas football team. I'm sure some people remember them, the Dallas Desperados of the Arena Football League. Okay, the Dallas Desperados played from 2002 to 2008 in the Arena Football League. They were in the Eastern Division. They played at the American Airlines Center and even played a season at Reunion Arena, and they were owned by Jerry Jones. They were coached first by former Cowboys assistant Joe Albizano, and then their last few years by Will McClay. They made the AFL playoffs 3 times in 2003, 2006, and 2007. The team folded in 2009, and they were followed by another arena team called the Dallas Vigilantes. They played in 2010 and 2011. Next, look at Texas sports news. In Texas sports news, Rangers' Evan Carter is now focused on playing next season. Rangers general manager Chris Young said they don't expect him to play this season as he's been dealing with an injury. The Texans signed linebacker tackle Cameron Irving. He's been in the league for 10 years, and they cut tackle Jalen Thomas. He went to and played at SMU. Cowboys safety Israel Makawuma left practice on Friday with an injury. Coach Mike McCarthy said that he could miss some time because of the injury. Texas junior running back and return specialist Jadon Blue is on the watch list for this season's Paul Hornung Award. There are some other athletes from around Texas on the football watch list this year. Texas senior kicker Bert Auburn is on the Lou Groza Award watch list for kickers. Baylor coach Dave Aranda said there is a sense of urgency as the Bears start practice. The Bears had a 3-9 record last year and they're hoping to bounce back this year. Baylor redshirt sophomore Kyler Jordan is on the Warfel Trophy watch list. His teammate, junior running back kick returner Richard Reese, is on the Paul Hornung Award watch list. He's also on the Jet Award watch list, which is named after former Heisman Trophy winner Johnny the Jet Rodgers, and he goes to the best returner in the nation. Sixth-year senior quarterback Daquan Fenn is on the Maxwell Award watch list. Rice safety Gabriel Taylor on the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award list. SMU safety Isaiah Nwokobia will wear number 23 in honor of Jerry Levias. And Mustangs head coach Rhett Lashley, announced there would be changes to the titles for 6 of the assistant coaches. SMU safety Jonathan McGill has been named to the Warfel Trophy watch list. TCU wide receiver and kick returner Major Everhart is on the Paul Hornung Award watch list. TCU defensive lineman Nana Osafa Mensah is on the Warfel Award watch list. Snapper Brent Matisik is on the Patrick Manley Award watch list. Texas Tech running back Josh Brooks on the Warfel Trophy watch list. Wide receiver Dre McCray on the Paul Hornung Award watch list. Texas A&M kicker Randy Bond is on the Lou Groza Award watch list. And a fullback Albert Regis is on the Warfel Trophy watch list. And the Aggies have 2 players from their defensive line on the Nagurski Trophy watch list. They're Shamir Turner and Nick Skowron. A lot of young Texas football college players on the watch list for some awards this year. That's good to see. Well, anyway, I want to thank you for checking out the podcast. Hope you can understand what I was saying. I am Chris Carlisle, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you for listening.